gone place all the way possible. I think so.
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. And a small bit late there. Apologies about that. I had some technical difficulties. I couldn't hear Patrick, but the team is out. We'll go straight into it, and then we can exchange pleasantries afterwards. The team is, as you can see there, the beautiful man, Yuri Tielemans, on the front of your page. Martinez, Cash, Kanza, Pau, Matson, Bogard, Tielemans, McGinn, Buendia, Rogers, and Watkins. And to be honest with you, Paddy, I don't see any issue with that other than probably Frank, the son of Paul McGrath and Franco Baresi. Victor Lindelof has been dropped and is now on the bench.
Yeah, no huge surprise. I still think he rates Pau Torres as his first choice left centre back. We've got Mings in there as a replacement. We've got Lindelof in there to replace either of the central midfielders if needed. We've got McGinn that can drop back into the six positions. So, look, there's no arguments there. I can't, for the life of me, see anybody on the bench that, or that's not on the bench. There should be on the bench.
Jadon Sancho.
Bit short in attacking options. Pardon?
No Jadon Sancho on the bench.
No Jadon Sancho. Interesting.
No Jadon Sancho. So just for people who are listening, Marco Bizat, James Wright, Victor Lindelof, Luca Dean, Andres Garcia, Tyrone Mings, George Hemmings, Evan Gassand. Oh, I don't know where Paddy went to. Evan Gassand, Jamaldine Jimaloba on the bench there. I don't know what happened there, Paddy.
I don't know what I done. That was my fault.
So no Sancho on the bench either, which, to be honest with you, is strange. But yeah, look, I'm going to be honest, right? I'm going to pin my colours to the mast very, very quickly here. I don't give a shit who's on the bench. I just want 3 points. And we've got the best manager in the fucking Premier League. So go away and get 3 points. Who's clicking all the stuff here? So let's just go away and get 3 points, and let's not be moaning. Like, we're going to look at the Everton team in a moment. I showed you the Everton team that played Sunderland during the week, and there were some players that had numbers in the 90s. That's how depleted they were during the week as well. So I'm not taking the whole, we don't have options from the bench. We're playing at home against Everton. Like, if everybody's talking about us wanting to win and go second, we should, regardless if we're playing Man City, whoever we're playing, should go out and win this game today. That's what Villa should. Like, if Villa want to get second, they have to win this game today, and they just have to. You know, it's as simple as that. No matter who's on the field, have to find a way to win today. Find a way to win.
Absolutely. And look, we're playing a depleted team. I haven't seen the team other than knowing that after the long conversation we had this morning about sports psychology, Jack Grealish starts today. Yeah. So we know we're up against him from an Everton point of view. I'm sure you get the team up there in a second. But we should be expecting to be a full strength Everton, let alone a below strength Everton, albeit we're not at a full strength ourselves. So it's a bit of a leveler there. But I want to win, and I want a statement win, and I want us to win well today. I think it's today to do it. I think it's the time that we nail our colours to the mast. We go clear into second position and put our hands up and go, hello, we're still here.
Yeah. Like, as I say, no, look, I was look, obviously I said there, look, you want all your options on the bench, but we don't have them. We don't have them, and neither do Spurs. Like, look at Spurs bench there. You've got Beto and Dibbling. You've got Coleman, Seamus Coleman, who has been, like, he's coming back from an injury. You've got Anzu, you've got Welch, you've got Campbell. They've only named they've only named 8 subs on their bench. Everton. That's how depleted they are. At the minute. I'm right in saying that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So their team is Pickford, Patterson, Tarkovsky, O'Brien, Mikolenko, Garner, and Rawl, McNeil, Armstrong, Grealish, and Tierno Barry up top. You know, so there, I'm sure there's a For the Love of Paul Rideout podcast here somewhere. On Merseyside going, we're completely depleted. We don't have much from the bench. But they're at the same stage going, we've got Moisey. Moisey's the man who's making it happen for Everton. We've got the new Hill Dickinson Stadium. We have to find a way to make this work. And we're very, very good away from home this season. So, it's horses for courses. I think there's a bigger discussion to be made, Paddy, I suppose, really about, you look at the benches of a lot of teams that have played this weekend. The benches outside of maybe the promoted teams and Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. You look at and United. You look at the teams that are there, and you'll see a lot of weird names that you've never seen before. All teams in the Premier League currently at the moment are depleted in some way, shape, or form, and it's because after 3 years of PSR and having to sell off players that maybe might have been fringe that you would have brought through, you have to sell those on. You have to replace them with people coming in onto the bench, and Villa are no different to that. So it's interesting. Have we sold Marlon? Yes. Would we prefer to see Marlon in there instead of some of the players that are on our bench? Absolutely. But play the hand that you're dealt. I think on a day like today, when we've got the opportunity to go second, and we're currently we're a long time saying it, Paddy, that it's like, when Villa have to win, they never win.
Yeah, and look, we've been in this position before in recent years where we had a chance to go second, we had a chance to go top even at Christmas a couple of years ago. That kind of mindset needs to change from today onwards. They're there for the taking. We've got to take them. Yes, they've got a strong back four. Yes, they've got a good goalkeeper, but very depleted in the other half of the pitch. You're going to have either McNeil or would Armstrong play further up the pitch? Maybe, I don't know.
You will, yeah. Armstrong. They're going to play 3 behind Barry. It'll be McNeil, Armstrong, Grealish, and the 2 boys in midfield. Garner, like we have to be thinking we can get in amongst Garner and is it Marcus Rawley? His name is escaping me at the moment. I think we have to, like, that's
Merlin.
Yeah, Merlin. Sorry, Merlin. Exactly, Merlin Rod. Where you have to try and get in around him there. But who do they drop into that pocket? Maybe that's perfect for an Emi Buendia today. Maybe that's perfect for an Emi Buendia today, or Morgan Rogers. Bring him in off that left hand side. I don't know, but that's where we have to make hay in there and try and force an Armstrong or a McNeil to come back against the grain of where they want them to be.
Strange one missing from that lineup and the bench is young Tim isn't fit enough to make it. So that's one less ex-player we have to worry about. But it's that floppy-haired prince that's looking back at us there on the screen. That's obviously our illogical fear or logical fear, or whatever way you want to look at it. You sent me a piece where his manager was very critical of him on the newspaper today. But look, the day's the day that he could turn up. He hasn't really turned up against us. One game in particular, maybe for Man City, he's done particularly well. But other than that, he hasn't had much change out of us, and I hope that doesn't start today. You can nearly chalk down a yellow card for him and Matty Cash today, because they tend to have that battle off each other, don't they, when they're playing against each other?
I have. Yeah, so Sven says Sven says Tim is injured. Yeah, David Moyes actually mentioned in the press conference he wouldn't be playing today. So he said that he wouldn't make it. He didn't make during the week either, and he was definitely going to be out. But yeah, I've put a bet on Lamar Bogard, Jack Grealish, and Matty Cash all to be booked at 60-1. I put a $5 on it just to see. But I think that there will be. Yeah, I think this one today could be it's going to be individual moments of brilliance, and Aston Villa have done that.
Yeah.
But now we're playing at home as well. Like I can't stress how important it is how much the finger is tipped on the scales in a game like this when we are playing at home, because we're an absolutely brilliant beast at home. We really are. We're one of the best home teams in Europe, and we need to keep it that way. Early goals. Win 2-1, win 2-0, whatever way you want to win it today, win 1-0. It doesn't matter. Get out of it with 3 points and look down at Man City for a period of time, and look up at Arsenal for the first time, because you will be second place outright, and it wouldn't be a case of, well, we're second while we're waiting for Manchester City to play later on tonight and get their 3 points against whoever they're playing. There's no guarantee that Man City are going to get 3 points at the moment. There's no guarantee that Arsenal are going to get 3 points after their draw yesterday, So if Villa want to really prove that they are in this title race, and I've always been pretty vocal about saying, I don't think we're in a title race, but now is the time where you could start to say over the next 3 or 4 weeks, if we start to exert ourselves on the league. We've got Newcastle, we've got Everton, we've got I can't remember who else we've got coming up. And then all of a sudden you find yourself outright in second place and 4 points away from third place and maybe 2 points away from first place. Yeah, then at that stage you can start to say that you're in a title race as you come into February. But all starts today. All starts today.
But that mentality has to change too, Neil. You're in a title race till you can't win it anymore. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity to go and win it, and we will probably, like all of these teams will strengthen because that's the way the leagues are set up. Liverpool will strengthen, Man United will strengthen, Arsenal will strengthen. This is our best opportunity to go and win the league. I'm not saying we're going to do it. I'm just saying it's our best opportunity. We can't spend our money, which is a pin in the hole, but we've every opportunity to be eating at the top table here. So with a little bit of tinkering between now and the end of the transfer window, who knows? Maybe Sancho's on his way back. Maybe that's why he's not in the team today. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? So we'll just have to wait and see over the coming weeks. But for now, play what's in front of us. Play this weekend Everton team and get 3 points on the board.
Maybe Sancho's on his way to Istanbul. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. Yeah. So it's look, these are the teams. We're going to take off the Everton team there, and we'll just chat a small bit more. Yeah, because as I say, look, there's nothing given in this game today, but we were always at pains to say that when we're playing games, specifically when we're doing the team sheet tantrum, because we don't want to jinx anything if people do believe in that. But at the end of the day, there's a massive carrot here to be outright second place. Like, be outright second place and to keep those buffer zones to third, fourth, fifth place is just massive. You look at the league table. Crystal Palace manager is talking about being abandoned. They're selling Mateta. They've sold Gray. They sold Eze, Olise over the last couple of years as well. And, and you look at where they are. They're on 28 points. Realistically, they're not out of the Champions League race just yet because they're 6 points away from fifth place or 7 points away from fifth place. It's massive. Sancho is ill. Okay, that's fine. We were only being facetious saying that he was moving on, but he's not in the team. And like it's so concertinaed underneath us that they're all going to be ravenous trying to take points off each other as well. But if we win today, we elongate that gap once more, and we keep the gap that Chelsea and that Manchester United have temporarily closed on us. But we elongate that gap to Liverpool, and we elongate a gap to Man City as well, who were always ahead of us. So, like, make no mistake, results have fallen in our favour over the last 10 to 12 weeks. They really have. But we've been opportunistic, and was exactly what we said, Paddy, about that mindset change of when Villa need to win, they haven't won. We've kind of done that this season. When we needed to win, we have won, and we have gotten that buffer zone. So I'm hoping that absolutely stays the same way today, and that we're cheering on an Aston Villa 2-1 win, 2-0 win, I'm going to say, today at, what time is the game? 4:30, 6? 6:15, in and around that time. We're cheering on that win. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think today has to be a statement win. We're the only game on at 4:30. The world is watching. Let's put our hands up and show people, hello, we're still here. We're still fighting. We're still performing at our playground. We've an unbelievable record at our home ground under Unai Emery, and there's no reason that stops today. Unless there's a defeatist mentality, which I don't see coming. So we can do it. 100% we can do it. And I'm going for a 2-0 win as well.
What I'm going to do here is I'll put this back up because I think it's interesting here. If you look at the comments on the side, you guys can't really see them, but you can see here, why keep picking McNeil based on his last performance? It shows he doesn't want to be there. If Dibbling hasn't, I know Dibbling hasn't played great. How come McNeil gets picked ahead of him? Absolute embarrassment of a manager. So McNeil running back to our own goal with 90 minutes due to having no right foot. Can't wait. Another game, another Mikalenko masterclass, head exploding emoji. Everton fans aren't happy with this team. And that's not a precursor of anything. That is not a guide of anything at all. Not at all. But they've obviously got questions over the players. They're missing the questions that have been set up, the setup that they have here as well. And one of them calling the manager an absolute total embarrassment when he's completely and utterly steadied the ship for them, which I think is he's doing a great job for them. A win today takes them firmly into contention for European places as well. So they've got something to play for too. But I think Aston Villa have more to play for. We're playing at home. And in fairness, we have, like, they're missing, I think, 9 players today. So,
yeah,
they're missing 9 players. We're missing.
Just remember what you're dealing with when you're looking at Twitter. I'd say if you called up our team, there'd be people complaining as well about what's on the bench and what have you. I'm not too bothered about other people's opinions. Once the opinion in the dressing room is that we got this, lads, we're out here ready to fight for the 40,000 people inside the stadium. That's the mentality that's needed today, not the ones from Twitter. And look at that gorgeous man on that picture. He's going to be the key player for me today, pulling the strings in midfield. It's a tough job to do. He's got to marshal Bogard and keep talking to him throughout the game. A big game for Bogard to come in and start when it's must win like this. Yeah,
I think so too. But look, again, I know I'm being very Roy Keane-esque. Somebody said I was being Roy Keane-esque. I just got a text there going, why is it all like, you just got to go and do your job? Because they're just like, you're one sentence away from saying that. But I think for Bogard now, the training wheels have to come off for him. Because if we're led to believe that Brighton are willing to bid 25 million for him, that there's teams in the continent willing to bid 25 million for him. And, let's say that we were looking at, it came up that, RB Leipzig have a central midfielder that's 22 years of age. He's a Dutch 22 years of age central midfielder, and Villa are looking to bid 25 million for him. We'd be over the moon to be going like that. Oh, is this guy the big deal? Where's our scouting series on him? All that kind of stuff. We have one here in our ranks. Unai thinks a lot of him, and the training wheels are going to be off him over the next coming weeks. So it's going to be great to see it, because I think he has grown into the role. Is he at times, sometimes maybe a small bit physically unimposing? Yeah, but Kamara isn't exactly the most physically imposing person, just gets his body in the right places. Bogart's going to have to learn the job over the course of the next few weeks, and he will do it. And because he's had a nice learning curve, he's been shadowing one of the best defensive midfielders in the world currently. And I firmly believe that in Boubacar Kamara. And, it's time for him to show what he's worth. Is he worth that 25 million price tag that other clubs allegedly have been putting on him? So it's going to be interesting to see, and I've just flipped that mental vision on him. If other clubs see him as a 25 million pound player, we were looking at a 25 million pound 22-year-old defensive midfielder, we'd be like, oh, brilliant, let's get him in, he's probably going to be class. Maybe we have him here already, but we won't know till we see him in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think it's a big day for him to actually hammer home the point, and I think it says a lot that he's gone with him over Lindelof, who we know has played in that position against Everton. I was at the match in the Hill Dickinson earlier in the season, and Lindelof came on and played there, so we know he trusts Lindelof there. But now we know that he trusts Bogard to start a full 6 years after making his debut in that FA Cup game after all the players were in contact with COVID. So it's a big day for him. I wish him all the best. We all want him to do well. Who would have thought back in that FA Cup game against Liverpool, probably nearly the anniversary at the moment, I would imagine, that it was Bogard being the one player. We talked about Louis Barry and Akos and Odi and such wonderful defenders in there as well. And it's Winston Bogard. Lamar Bogard is the one that's 6 years later performing on the Premier League stage.
It was the 8th of January we played Liverpool in 4-1. And remember, Paddy, we very nearly sponsored Akos Shinodi when he played with Sporting Bromsgrove as well. We very nearly sponsored him because they were looking for player sponsorship.
Gosh, we were just too late.
That seems like it was forever ago now, and it was 5 years ago, but still. 4 years ago, actually, I think 4 years ago. I
wonder what he's doing now.
Yeah. So yeah, look, Paddy, I know you've got to be gone in the next 3 minutes or so, but what's your view? What scoreline are you going prediction for score?
I'm going to go for a comfortable 2-0 win today. And I hope it's comfortable because I've got a rotten chest infection and I want to sit on the couch and relax and watch the game today. I've got to rush to a funeral in between now and the game starting, so that's why I've got to be off. But I just want a comfortable afternoon watching a game that should be comfortable, and that's how I feel about it. I don't mean that in a strange way where I'm talking now on Everton. I just feel that that's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's I'm going to go for I asked ChatGPT last night. I do this kind of I'm doing this kind of experiment with a couple of mates of mine, whereby we're asking different AI bots to predict the score of matches over the course of a year, to see how reliable it is. So ChatGPT said it was going to be 2-0 Villa as well. So let's see. So we'll see. I think Paddy might just be ChatGPT. So yeah, so that's what it is. And are we keeping track of it? Probably not. We're just kind of going eyeballing it. So it's not a scientific study or anything like that. But yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 though. I'm going to go 2-1 Villa, even though I have placed a bet on Villa winning 2-0 today. I'm going to go 2-1 Villa because that's what we always win. We always win by 2-1. And to be honest with you, we win today 12 wins at home in a row. That is a all-time record, I think, for Aston Villa. It would be an all-time record for Aston Villa. I think somebody asked him about that in the press conference, which would be brilliant to see. Another great thing that this superb manager and incredible person is doing for Aston Villa. So long may that continue as well as everything else. You want to get your scores in there into the chat there, guys, and I will rattle them off before we leave. Paddy, if you need to go, you jump off, obviously.
I'll leave it to it.
You need to go. Yeah, so we will see. I don't know, will we see you for a post-match in the post-match podcast afterwards? But if not, we'll get you on for a debrief anyway tomorrow.
As long as something hasn't done something to my blood pressure in the meantime, you'll see me afterwards.
Exactly. Right. So
who's the referee today? Tony Harrington, is it?
Tony, Harrington, whatever his first name is.
Yeah, Tony Harrington. So hopefully Tony Harrington hasn't done anything to my blood pressure, or Jack Grealish for that matter. And I'll see you afterwards. Up the Villa. Go
on, so up the Villa, Paddy. Mind yourself. Right, where are our score lines? I'm going to start here with Debbie Hingley saying 2-1 to Villa. 2-1. It's always 2-1 says Real Villa. David Winters goes 1-0. Flange is going with 3-1. David Dwyer is going with 3-1. James Frankham is going with 2-1. Dennis is going 2-0. Kevin's going 3-1. Green Binde is going 4-0. Junior is going 3-1. Richard Parks is going 5-3. Jonathan Janeman is going with 2-1. Kylie is going with 1-0. Osdrum's going 2-1. 4-1 says Mr. Ponge. Mark Brannigan's going 3-1. Nick Gilbert is going with 2-0. Techno Obliterator is going 2-0. Ben is going for 3-1. Steve Berry is going for 2-0. Spencer's going 4-2. Dougie's going 3-1. Silas Slice is going for 4-1. Nick Gilbert is going with 7-1. Change of heart. Black Country Villains going for 2-0. MXHNTR is going for 4-0. Patrick is going for 3-1. Stevie Max going for 5-0. And that is the end of our scores there. Oh, Aaron comes in with a 5-0. Aaron Cole is coming in with a 5-0. To end off our score predictions there. Look, as Paddy said there, we're certainly not looking Everton as the threat that they obviously are. They're very, very good away from home. And obviously they've got a couple of talismans there Talisman and Jack Grealish. And Tierno Barry is no bad striker up top as well. But this is the game. These are the games. And this specifically is the game that Villa want to be winning if they're to be perennial. You know, if they're to... I was going to say if they're to be taken seriously by people, but I'm going to finish on a soliloquy. I don't really care whether we're taken seriously by the pundits. I don't really care whether we're taken seriously by other teams. I don't really care if we're never mentioned in the back page of any paper for positive reasons. I certainly don't care if Jamie Carragher and Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville break down our performances on Monday Night Football. I definitely don't care if we're a 2-hour segment on TalkSport. I certainly don't care if everyone in the pub talks to you about Aston Villa being the best team ever. Because it all doesn't matter. It has no bearing on the success and the failure or the inadequacy or the mediocrity of our football team. But what does have an effect on the success and the brilliance of our football team is quietly doing our job, going about it, winning and getting into a position, and then everybody being surprised of where we are. And going, oh, Villa are now in second on their own. The casual football fan that goes, where are Villa now in the league? You're second. Whoa. You know, that's adorable when stuff like that happens. But personally, I don't need this to be talked about for 6 hours a day by the mainstream, by the non-mainstream, by anyone. because maybe it's because I do enough of it myself, talking about Aston Villa. But I don't need it. But I bloody would like it to happen after we win today. I would like Aston Villa to go and win today to insert ourselves in a conversation. I would like us to insert ourselves in the conversation of being outright second place. I would like to prove to us, every one of us, because we all have that PTSD of not doing it in the day that we should do it, that you go and you beat an Everton. Or even if you draw with an Everton, you still get into second place on your own, on your own merit. And to do that and to hold that outright position and keep teams below you, that's a skill. And that's a mentality change that this team has overgone over the last 3 years since Unai Emery came in. And the progression of that mentality change has been stark, and it's been absolutely brilliant to witness. And it's been probably my favorite time as an Aston Villa fan. Outside of, winning cups in 94 and 96 when I was only a kid, the amount of investment I've had in the last 3 years in Aston Villa and understanding what's going on and being part of it and being delirious at I suppose at the relevant success that we've had without lifting a trophy, I think is fantastic. And today is another step on the way of that. And whether we have 6 back pages of tabloid newspapers talking about how great Aston Villa are, or whether we take over a 2-hour segment on Monday Night Football, whether we get to a situation whereby next Sunday when we're playing that they cut to us and see our players coming off the bus, is all irrelevant. It's all pomp and circumstance, and it is not context and it's not actuality about how your team is performing and what your team is doing. And that's the beauty about where we are today, that we can go out and we can win this and we can get second place without having a spotlight, the artificial spotlight that's put on some football teams shone upon us. And I think it's bloody brilliant. I think it's great. And I think it's I think it makes it more special for us as fans of a team that achieves that. So let's do it. Let's embrace the moment. Let's go out and win today, and let's get into second place. And with that, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I know I went off on a bit of a ramble there, but I'm going to blame it on the medication I'm on. Like Paddy, I'm struggling as well here at the moment, but we will be back again with a post-match podcast and we will chat to you on that. And hopefully we are chatting about said Aston Villa win, and we are talking about, being second place in the Premier League outright, and, where can this team go after this? And I hope you will all join us because I'd love to have you guys here to chat, and we'd love to see your comments. So everybody, get yourself sorted for this game, 4:30 kickoff. AVFC Stado's back streaming today. He's back from his hiatus, so we will be firing you into his live watch along. Please stay here if you do wish for that to happen. You'll be fired into a waiting room for his live watch along, and then obviously Dale will take you through the game and then throw you back into our post-match podcast afterwards. So if you want to have wall-to-wall Aston Villa between now and about 7 o'clock tonight, all you got to do is just leave your browser open and we will throw you directly into Dale, and he'll throw you directly back to us as well. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the game. Go and get your beverages and your snacks sorted. And if you are at the game, sing loudly and proudly, and be that 12th man to get this team into this win that will get us into outright second place, which is a huge achievement. Given players missing, the strength of squad, etc., etc., etc. We're doing this on merit because we've got a really good group of players and a really good manager, and hopefully we'll be praising those for another great win directly afterwards. In the meantime, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.